Welcome back, children. We are continuing the chapter Cell, the basic unit of life. We have already seen the introduction of this chapter. Now we are coming to the details of prokaryotes, then to eukaryotes. Prokaryotes. What are prokaryotes? You might have studied in lower classes. What are prokaryotes? Prokaryotes are unicellular organisms without a true nucleus and membrane bound organelles. So what are prokaryotes? Prokaryotes are unicellular organisms without a true nucleus. Example for this you can write bacteria, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, then mycoplasma, then again Pleuropneumonia-like organisms are the smallest prokaryotes. So bacteria, cyanobacteria and mycoplasma are the smallest ones, or they are otherwise called prokaryotes, unicellular prokaryotes. Then all prokaryotes are unicellular. The smallest prokaryotes we can say Pleuropneumonia-like organism, PPLO, Pleuropneumonia-like organism. Pleuropneumonia-like organism. Now, what are the major features of these prokaryotes? Let me draw the most famous prokaryote is the bacteria. You know, bacteria is immortal. Bacteria is immortal, it means that they do not have death. Bacteria, when they are about to finish their life cycle, they divide by binary fission into two new daughter bacteria. So the bacteria doesn't have a death. So they are called immortal. And they are universal in distribution. You have already studied universal in occurrence. The bacteria is a typical example of what? Typical example of the prokaryotes. Now, the first important feature of prokaryotes, they do not have a true nucleus. A nucleus without a nuclear membrane and nucleolus. You know, a true nucleus always have a nuclear membrane with the two nuclear membranes. Okay, but this prokaryotes, the nucleus does not have a nuclear membrane, and nucleolus is also absent here. There is a spherical structure inside of the nucleus that is called nucleolus. So both the nucleolus and the nuclear membrane are absent. Then what is there in the nucleus to represent the nucleus? There is a chromosome in bacteria. There is a chromosome only in bacteria. So there is no nuclear membrane and a nucleolus. Hence, such a nucleus is called a nucleoid. Nucleoid. So what is a nucleoid? The nucleus without a nuclear membrane and nucleolus is called nucleolus. Now, the second feature of the prokaryotes are very small in size. Very minute and invisible to our eyes. They are unicellular, they are invisible to our eyes. That is second point. Now third point is that they do not have a membrane bound organelles. No membrane bound organelles. Membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, etc. are totally absent in the prokaryotes, but they have a non-membrane bound, non-membranous organelle called ribosomes. Ribosomes are present in both prokaryote as well as eukaryote, and they are the only organelle without membrane. So that is very important point to remember. Now, so I told you two important points. Bacteria are unicellular prokaryotes, and they do not have nuclear membrane and nucleolus. Such a nucleus is called a nucleoid. They do not have membrane bound organelle. They do not have a membrane bound organelles. Only ribosomes are present in it. In these prokaryotes, As it is a notable feature, there is a cell wall. There is a thick cell wall. All bacteria consist of a cell wall. That cell wall is made up of pectin or hemicellulose and cellulose, right? And in addition to this cell wall, there is a membrane, slimy membrane around the cell wall. So bacteria, around the bacterial cell, you can see there is a slimy membrane. That membrane is made up of a substance called glycocalyx. GLYCO-CALYX. Glycocalyx is the outermost slimy membrane. But in some bacteria, instead of this glycocalyx, there is a lipid layer. LIPID, lipid layer. Instead of this glycocalyx, slimy substance. Glycocalyx is a complex polysaccharide. So around the cell wall there is glycocalyx in most of the bacteria, which prevent the bacteria from desiccation. What is desiccation? Means dry. Bacteria, as it is a wild organism, they are exposed to unfavorable conditions such as extreme hot and temperature. So in this extreme unfavorable condition, bacteria can withstand because of this glycocalyx, slimy layer, that make the bacteria resistant and prevent from desiccation. Prevent from desiccation. Certain bacteria have some fine hair-like structure called the cilia or flagella. Cilia or flagella. Cilia or flagella are the fine hair-like structure which helps them in locomotion. In addition to cilia or flagella, there are very fine hair-like structure that invisible even through the power microscope. In between this cilia and flagella, there are fine hair-like structure. We call it pili, P-I-L-I, or fimbriae. They are mainly found in the main strain of bacteria. Bacteria cannot be called female or male as it is unicellular and submicroscopic. But we can say there are plus strain and minus strain, male strain and female strain. The usually male strain bacteria has hair-like structure, fine hair-like structure in between the cilia or flagella. We call them pili or fimbriae, which helps in the process of conjugation or sexual reproduction in bacteria. Okay. Now, in addition to all this, inside the cell wall, there is a plasma membrane. There is plasma membrane. Sometimes the plasma membrane has infoldings like that, irregular unfoldings. Such foldings are called mesosomes. Mesosomes. So bacteria contain mesosomes. It is nothing but folded plasma membrane, but perform some different functions like respiration. In bacteria, respiration is done or performed by mesosome. What are mesosomes? Mesosomes are the irregular infolding structure of plasma membrane. What is the function of mesosome in bacteria? They are respiratory in function. They perform respiration. Now, when we study the plasma membrane, it is phospholipid in nature. Phospholipid. And in addition to this, there is a fluid inside. So some of the virulent or disease-causing bacteria, not all bacteria cause diseases. Certain bacteria which cause diseases are called virulent or pathogenic. Such a bacteria, virulent or pathogenic bacteria, has a double DNA structure. Okay, double-stranded DNA structure. This double-stranded DNA is called a plasmid. In which type of bacteria can you see the plasmid? Plasmid is seen in virulent or pathogenic bacteria. But non-virulent and friendly bacteria does not have this plasmid. So what is plasmid? It is an extra chromosomal double-stranded circular DNA. Very important. When a bacteria or virulent pathogenic bacteria infect the host, it is this plasmid that they transfer to the host cell. The plasmid will be transferred to the host cell. So this property of the plasmid which get transferred to the host on attack is used up in genetic engineering. So the plasmid is used as vector for transferring the gene of interest in genetic engineering. So plasmid is called a vector in genetic engineering. It's very important. So you will be studying this detail in the next year. What are plasmid? What is the importance of plasmid? So this is all about the general structure of the prokaryotic cell. So I have already told you 4 features of prokaryotic cell. First, prokaryotic cells are unicellular, submicroscopic with very small in size, invisible to our naked eyes. Even through microscope we cannot see. We need a powerful microscope to see them. Second point, bacteria is covered by a glycocalyx slimy layer which prevent the bacteria from desiccation. But inside the bacteria there are a lot of things. Then we can say the plasma membrane is folded to form mesosomes which perform what is called respiration. And inside the plasma membrane is the nucleoid, which is otherwise called false nucleus. Nucleoid or false nucleus. Why the nucleus in the bacteria or prokaryotes are called false nucleus or nucleoid? Because the nucleus is devoid of, lack of the nuclear membrane and nucleolus. Only a single chromosome is present. Such a nucleus without nuclear membrane and nucleolus is called nucleoid. Then what is pili? Pili is the fine hair-like structure on the cell wall. What is the function of it? It helps in the conjugation during sexual reproduction. What are mesosomes? Mesosomes are enfoldings of plasma membrane which help in respiration. Now, what is the importance of glycocalyx? In which organism do you see glycocalyx? Glycocalyx is the slimy substance formed of complex polysaccharide which prevent the bacteria from desiccation and drying and protect them to overcome the unfavorable conditions. Now, there is one single chromosome at the center. The most important feature of the bacteria, particularly pathogenic or virulent bacteria, is the double-stranded circular DNA that is called plasmid. Double-stranded circular DNA plasmid. So that's all about this prokaryotes. Thank you.